It is the dreaded season for dry skin, but here's how I keep my skin glowy and moisturized with this routine. Hello, welcome to the channel. These are currently all the products I've been using to help my skin stay moisturized and glowy during this colder period. This is the AM routine, but I'll mention the products that I switch out for the evening routine as well. Starting off with cleanser. So I don't wash my face with cleanser during my morning routine just because I feel like it's not really necessary in the colder months for my dry skin. I just splash some warm water on my face and call it a day. I know some people use micellar water, but I still like washing my face with water. I find it refreshing and it wakes me up. So I just use water and a cleanser. But in the evening, I do use a cleanser. I'm currently really liking the ETUDE Jung 5.5 foam cleanser. This is a really nice, gentle foam cleanser. It doesn't strip the skin or dry it out. This is a pH balanced cleanser, so it's supposed to be more gentle on the skin as it's closer to your skin's natural pH. This also has panthenol and madecassoside in it to help soothe the skin and strengthen that skin barrier. All in all, it's just a great, gentle cleanser. On to toner next. I am, of course, using the I'm From Rice toner, which is my current favorite. This is my favorite moisturizing toner at the moment. You have to shake it up to mix the two layers. It's a really nice milky toner, which has a good amount. Oh God, I just got it on myself. It's a really nice milky toner with some body to it. It's got over 70% rice extract in it, and I find it to be really moisturizing and nourishing. It's just a very moisturizing milky toner, but it doesn't feel heavy or greasy on the skin. It sinks in really nicely, and I already don't really feel any residue or anything on my face. It just adds some lovely moisture back into the face after cleansing. Next up is essence. Now, I have really been enjoying this Mary and May Vegan Blackberry Cream Essence. Not only does it look beautiful, you can see there's two layers. There's this creamy, milky layer on top, and then this purple layer down at the bottom. I think it's really pretty to look at. But aside from that, I think this is the most moisturizing essence that I've tried so far. The whole idea behind this essence is that it is a cream in an essence form. So it's supposed to be moisturizing like a cream, but in a lighter essence form. And I've got to say, it is very moisturizing. So you shake up these two layers, and then the cream melts into the essence. You can see it turns into this really pretty lilac color after you've shaken it up. This is also a really nice glass bottle, so it feels quite nice and weighty when you use it. The texture of this is very similar to a milky toner. It kind of reminds me of the I'm From toner that I just used, but in a slightly richer format. So it's a slightly thicker, runny, milky toner texture. There's no scent to it, by the way. But the essence just feels so nourishing. The thing that I really enjoy with this essence, aside from the experience of using it, is just that it absorbs in so quickly. It doesn't leave a residue, but it provides so much moisture. There's blackberry extract in here to provide antioxidant benefits and protect against oxidative stress. There's also blue lotus water in here, which is soothing and moisturizing. Ceramides as well to help strengthen the skin barrier, and also Centella asiatica to help soothe the skin. And after just those two steps, I feel like my skin already looks and feels so much better. My skin already feels so much more nourished without any greasiness. Onto the serum. Currently, I've really been liking the TIRTIR SOS Serum. This was sent to me for review, so I didn't buy this, but this is not sponsored. I do not have to mention this. This also comes in a nice glass bottle. I think this is the most hydrating serum that I've ever used, even more so than any of the hyaluronic acid serums that I've tried. The main ingredient in here is polyglutamic acid, and I just find it to be so much more hydrating than hyaluronic acid for me. In serum form, that is. Serum has a nice body to it. It has a nice medium thickness sort of serum consistency, but it just sinks in so fast. It leaves my skin feeling so hydrated instantly. I've definitely noticed a difference when I've not used it in my routine. On to my favorite part, the cream, to really lock all of that moisture and hydration in. For daytime, I've really been enjoying this Mary and May Idebenone Blackberry Intense Cream. So it's from the same line as that essence that I mentioned earlier. There are antioxidant benefits from the Blackberry complex and Idebenone in here. It's fragrance free, just like the essence. It's unfortunately not a lovely lilac color like the essence though. This one just looks like a normal cream but slightly tinted yellow. There are ceramides in here to help strengthen the skin barrier, as well as hyaluronic acids to provide hydration. This has a nice rich consistency without being super thick or greasy. But it's this lovely medium richness consistency that spreads really nicely over the face, doesn't feel super thick and gloopy. It doesn't feel like it's sitting on my face like some rich moisturizers can. This just really melds into the skin, absorbs nicely, and doesn't really leave a sticky or greasy residue. I just really enjoy how quickly it absorbs and how well it absorbs. So that's why I really like it during the daytime when I'm getting ready and I don't want to wait a really long time for my cream to absorb before I then put makeup on. This just absorbs really nicely, quickly, but leaves my skin feeling really moisturized and nourished. But it does so quickly so that I can then just whack my makeup on. It's just a lovely moisturizer that keeps my skin moisturized throughout the day. Now for nighttime, I do like to switch to a different moisturizer. Not that this isn't lovely and moisturizing, it is. It's plenty moisturizing for me throughout the day, but I find that at night, I need something with just a little bit more richness and occlusivity. When I use this as my nighttime moisturizer, I do notice that my skin is a little dry feeling when I wake up the next day. Not hugely so, but there is a cream that doesn't do that for me, so I like to switch to that for night instead. But I still really enjoy this for daytime use, and I think it would be perfectly fine for me to use in the day and in the evening when it's not the coldest winter months. My go-to moisturizer for night is the COSRX Hyaluronic Acid Intensive Cream. This is a holy grail for me. This is my second tub. With the hyaluronic acid in here, it is just so deeply moisturizing. Intensive is a great way to describe this. It's intensive in moisture, but not in richness or thickness. This has a really interesting texture where it is a thicker gel cream is how I would describe it. And I've always just thought that gel cream types were more for oily/combo skin types because they have a much thinner, lighter consistency. This, on the other hand, does have that gel consistency, but it's just a richer gel. So it's more lightweight than a typical cream consistency, and it's far less thick. It is rich in moisture and it's very hydrating, but it applies like a slightly thicker gel cream. I really enjoy the texture of this because I feel like it's very different to your typical, rich, thick, intensive cream that you might find on the market. I've honestly not found a cream with this kind of consistency that is as moisturizing. A little goes a long way with this cream, so you only need to use a little bit so the tub will last you a long time. The cream just glides over your skin and it really spreads out a lot, so that's why you don't need much. It's very smooth feeling in the way that it glides over your skin, and I wonder if that's because of the dimethicone in here. So it does have a slight slip to it, and it almost feels slightly like those pore blurring primers that typically have a lot of silicones in them, but it doesn't feel as slick as that. There is just a nice glide and slip to it, but it's not as slick, if that makes sense. I just really enjoy the texture of it, and I find it to be very moisturizing for my skin. I whack this on at nighttime and I wake up the next morning with my skin all glowy, still feeling really moisturized and not dry or tight feeling at all. I have also used this as my daytime moisturizer and it works really well, but I will say that I don't know if it's because of the slight slip or the dimethicone in here, but the cream sometimes doesn't mesh very well with some of my foundations and it might separate a bit or just not really blend in very well. So that's why I prefer to use this during the evening, but I have also used this during the day. I just need to be a little bit more careful about which foundations I use on top of this. On to the next step, sunscreen. I'm not going out today, so I'm not going to use any sunscreen, but if I was, this is my go-to winter pick, which is the Beauty of Joseon Relief Sun and Probiotics. I have a whole separate video about my favorite sunscreens for dry skin, so I won't talk too much about this one. You can go check out that video if you want more detail, but this sunscreen is just moisturizing and soothing whilst being lightweight at the same time. It gives a beautiful glowy finish, no white cast, and it absorbs really nicely. And lastly is an extra step that I've been taking against the dry, flaky eczema flare-ups that I've been having, and that is the Roche-Posay Cicaplast Balm. This has gone quite popular over social media, and I have to say, it really does work. So it's described as an ultra repairing soothing balm, which is exactly what it does. This is formulated for use on irritated, damaged, dry skin, and its main focus is to repair that damaged skin barrier. So there's panthenol in here to help it do that. There's also madecassoside, which is an extract of Centella asiatica, which is very soothing, and it's a hypoallergenic, fragrance-free formula. I've been mainly using this on sore, flaky areas, like the forehead and the tip of the nose and philtrum area. I had a bad cold a few weeks ago, and as you know, the nose just does not stop running. So this nose area and philtrum were just so sore, and everything was stinging and it was just uncomfortable. So I started using this on it, and within a couple of days, it really just helped heal that area. It was no longer sore, no longer flaky. I also had an eczema flare-up recently in this sort of patch over here. It's gone now thanks to this. I like using this on my forehead as well because my forehead gets particularly dry and flaky. You can also use this on dry, chapped skin on the rest of your body, so your hands or wherever else is really dry. But aside from use on eczema and dry, damaged skin, it can also be used on minor scrapes and grazes because of some antibacterial action in this. I've not tried this on any minor injuries yet, so I can't speak to how effective it is for those, but just for my eczema and dry, damaged skin barrier, this has been working really well. I will say, however, it's not a perfect product for me. I don't love the texture of it or the smell. So it's fragrance free, but there is a scent from the ingredients that I used in it. It smells very much like pseudo creme, if you've ever tried that, the nappy rash cream. It's not the most offensive scent in the world, but it's not that pleasant. And the texture of it isn't my favorite. So the balm feels like a medium thickness cream. You know, it sprays pretty easily, it's not too thick. But once it's absorbed, it has that slight powdery feeling like a zinc balm does. If you've ever tried zinc balm for eczema, there is that slight sort of friction or powderiness that it leaves on the skin. This doesn't feel exactly like that, but there is that hint of that there, that hint of that powdery almost sort of friction afterwards. It's smooth and it absorbs nicely, but I do feel that afterwards. But yeah, some minor gripes with the texture and the scent, but it does work very well. And that is my AM skincare routine done. I feel like my skin just looks moisturized and glowy, but it doesn't feel heavy, greasy, or thick. It's giving Mudeng if Mudeng had hormonal acne. Just look at that glow. All right, that is skincare time over. The hair is a bit of a mess, but anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a like. And if you'd like to see more beauty content, makeup, skincare with a focus on Korean beauty, then please stick around. I would love to have you. Subscribe and I will see you in my next video. Bye.